Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you read that thumbnail correctly, it is true. I have not played disc golf for about 3 weeks. Let me just assure you very quickly, I'm not injured, not hurt. Everything's fine. It's been a very, very busy 3 weeks in the life of the Bodkin household. And so it's great to be back on my home course here at Johnson Road Park. As a famous influencer has said, it's a crispy fall morning. It rips. Pretty awesome. But yeah, today I'm going to update you on what's been going on in life and disc golf, all that, and figure I could do that back at the home course at Johnson Road Park. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and thanks for hearing me ramble. Let's get it. Okay, if you're anything like me, going a week or two, the not playing disc golf, start getting like withdrawals. You get that itch, like, I gotta throw plastic. I know some guys do that. Like some guys, when the season is over, they don't touch a disc for 2 months. They go into winter hibernation, and then once like February and March start to spring forth, then they're back out on the course. I can't really do that. Like I like playing disc golf year round. And fortunately for us here in the Memphis area, winters are usually around the 40s, and many times they get up into the upper 40s and 50s. And so it's not bad. Right now it's fall, so this is perfect weather. Feels great. The leaves are down on the ground though, so I'm glad I'm recording, because in the past I have lost many discs on this course, but hopefully that is not a curse. And that is not a preview of coming attractions. So I threw a few practice shots. I'm expecting this to be a very rusty round. So let's see what happens. Ooh, that was rusty. A little better. Oh yeah, totally rusty there, and that's to be expected. But I'm not gonna let that get me down. This is beautiful weather. I'm gonna play disc golf today. It's awesome. So quick recap. I did not get to play in Hinton Harvest. So, you know, we were kind of really highlighting that tournament. I didn't get to play. John did. John did not have the greatest first round, but he had a pretty good second round to bring him back up. I think he'd been sick all week. And then John does not play well when the temperature drops a little bit. His body really just gets affected by that. And we were texting about it, and we're like, all right, next time, hand warmers is a must. Got to have that. But all in all, it was a really fun tournament. Cam, he's been on the channel before. He was one of the tournament directors. They had an amazing turnout. It was full. They had people on the wait list. Everything I heard about was great. It was fantastic. And I mean, around here to get like sponsors for every single hole is pretty unique and awesome. And on top of that, it was a fundraiser, and it was for a very good cause. And so I think he did a great job of setting the bar high and maybe like helping us see where disc golf can go here locally. As you guys already know, these guys do an absolute amazing job, the best around here. But we're just happy for any and all TDs around this area who throw tournaments. We love them, we play them, and we're super appreciative of them. And I'm actually thinking about maybe becoming a TD myself. And so it's really neat to see folks and what they do and how they do it, and hopefully I can contribute in that way at some point. All right, luckily it's 2 off the first. You got to get a birdie on hole 1. If you don't, it's not going to be a great round usually. But I mean, you can get bad kicks and stuff like that. That brings us to hole 2. I take it back. It might have not been 2 weeks that I've been out. Maybe or 3 weeks. Maybe it was like 2.5. I'm not sure. Because I did actually, when Jeff sent the new Halo Fox, I did come out here. I think it might have been 2 or 3 days after I went to Jackson, and I was testing out, and I had my daughter's recording, which was a lot of fun, but also like a little, you know, when you're recording by yourself, it's a little different than when you're trying to still like, hey guys, pay attention, I need somebody to go get the disc, and you know, so anywho. So I actually do want to give the Fox some redemption. When I threw it, I was not, for whatever reason, like it did not seem more stable to me, which was really a big letdown. I'm hoping it is more stable today. It probably will be because I haven't thrown in so long. So, but another thing, I think on this hole, you might be able to see this. It hit a tree, my second throw, and it took a big chunk out of it. And so thought Halo plastic was supposed to be just a little bit more durable. So we'll see how it flies. Oh, that's gone. I don't know if y'all saw how much that turned over. I did put a little ante on it, but dude, that was something else. All right, 2 for 2 for bad shots. There we go, Wolf. I think the rust got the better of me. Threw quite a few, well, probably about 4 or 5. And of course, you throw a lot of discs in the woods and it's fall, there's a possibility you might lose one. I have lost many discs on this course, but hopefully that is not a curse and that is not a preview of coming attractions. Unfortunately, the victim was my Halo Wombat. I love that disc. I will say though, it seems to keep finding its way back to me. And so I'm hopeful. If not, I know where to get one. Right there. No surprise, the Wolf was the best of the bunch. One of the reasons I haven't been able to play as much disc golf is family stuff. So we have had a lot of cheerleading for my daughter, and it's taken up a lot of her time, our time as well. And it looks like for the foreseeable future, it will probably be something that we deal with. She's a very athletic and good cheerleader. She's she's not in middle school yet, but I kind of foresee that she'll probably be going that route in middle school and high school. We're trying to avoid the traveling. We don't really want to do that because, well, that's something I'll share here in a little bit, but I do think that if you're on the road all the time, it's really difficult to be a little more rooted in your community. Hole 2 behind me. This is like it's like 270 feet, and it is a left to right shot. A lot of times a forehand's good. Honestly, if you just get sneaky and you go kind of up the middle with something that turns a little bit, somehow it just finds its way, even though it shouldn't. So that's probably what I'm gonna do with the Wolf. Cheerleading season is going to end this weekend. Unfortunately, that means I'll be missing another tournament. Will I, Ocean, you know I love you guys. I'll be sending you guys a message and hopefully a donation soon. Wish I could be there for the birthday bash. It's just how life is right now. Like I said, if you just kind of throw it close to the middle, let the Wolf do its thing, it just kind of sneaks up there. Voila. But that's not to say that I did not hit a few trees and stuff like that beforehand. And then I realized that the camera was psyching me out, so I needed to reposition it further down. It's funny, as I was talking about not being able to play in Will I's birthday party at Flyin W Ranch. By the way, if you are in the Memphis area and you can make it, you should. In my opinion, it is my favorite course in the Memphis area. So that's my plug. It was funny, Jared Selby just sent me a text, hey, are you gonna play Flyin W Ranch? So I'll have to get back to him and break the news. Hole 4 behind me is 300 feet, moves straight and then a slight dogleg right. It plays maybe a little longer than 300 feet, goes slightly up, but then it does go downhill. What is the biggest distraction is this thing right here over my shoulder. Looks like a much bigger gap in person, but I mean, it messes with your mind and timing and aiming and all that stuff. I'm hoping that the Fox, the Halo Fox Redemption right here, this is what I'm looking for. That might be pretty good. I threw that with a lot of hyzer, and as you can see, that thing just turned over. Star Fox comparison. Somehow I got lucky and got through everything. Other reason I have not been playing as much disc golf lately is I've been getting back into the saddle and working a little bit more. I've been substitute teaching, and it's been awesome. I've really enjoyed it. For about 4.5 years, I was a teacher. Taught Bible, Old Testament, New, U.S. history as well. I'll talk to you about that here in a second. Big disappointment with the Fox. Didn't hear it hit anything because it's so quiet when it hits, but that thing was so flippy that it just turned over so quickly. All right, in contrast, this Star Fox, I mean, that was an excellent drive. I'm in the circle for sure, about 15, 20 feet. Yeah, I don't know what to think of the Halo Fox. It's it might be too flippy for me, which is the exact opposite of what I wanted. I wanted the Fox to be a little more stable. I don't know what to do with it. It's 180 grams. It's Halo. Maybe I got a dud. I don't know. All right, something I did there. I usually don't do this. I aimed at the tree that was like right in front of me, and I was like, I'm gonna try to miss that by throwing a quick innie. Not much success on hole 5, but sometimes that's how it goes. Yes, subbing has been the other reason that I have not been playing as much disc golf. I kind of feel like God might be at work doing some things in my life, and I don't know. We're able to get back in the saddle now that my wife has a new job that's remote, which is huge. My dad is retired, and my mom is a little more available. So that frees up some time for us to be able to get kids and go different places, and be able to do life a little easier. And so I'll tell you more about some things I got brewing in my head. Always thought the Toro was possibly the guy for that hole. It's a 250-foot hole, just a pretty initial gap. The tunnel was a little tight, but with throwing it a little closer, or aiming closer to the left side and really putting some turn on it, I mean, you let the speed, even though it's not a speed disc, you let the speed and the lack of glide push that thing down, and wow, I was pleasantly surprised by that. So let's talk about Disc for Dads. Since this is the Disc for Dads disc golf channel, one thing that I would love to see from Disc for Dads, John and I have talked about this. This is sort of like a dream that we envision, that we'd like to see come to fruition, is to be like a dad disc golfing movement. We would love to see local chapters, regional chapters, national chapters, so on and so forth. And it could honestly look differently in each chapter. So flexible, and to be able to do what you and the other dads want to do in the area. So we're still kind of like thinking through that, what that would look like logistically. Obviously it would begin locally here in the Memphis area. And so if there are any dads in the local Memphis area that would be interested in being part of just being a bunch of dads that play disc golf and hanging out, enjoying the sport, as well as like just sharing life, like, you know, like, hey, that's what I got going on. You know, just be able to encourage one another, to hang out, to push each other to be better fathers, and just, again, like to have a good time, right? So if that's something that interests you and you're in this local area, please feel free to reach out to me. You can send me a DM. Either, I guess you can send me a message here, and then I can figure out a way to get a hold of you, whether it be text, email, etc. Love to hear if you're interested in being part of Disc for Dads going forward. Cicada. Man, the rust is real. Definitely had some pretty bad shots there. I've noticed that, I don't know why, but well, we'll see. I don't want to write off my disc. I haven't thrown in like 3 weeks, but some of them just not flying like I'm used to, and that's probably because I haven't played in 3 weeks. I love throwing this thing on hyzers and hyzer flips. All right, hit the tripod legs and still made it. A little tired after hiking that hill. Locals know what it is. That's another thing that I've been trying to get back into for my birthday. I got a membership at a gym, and it opens at 5, which sounds awful, but that might be when I'm gonna have to start going sometimes. So I'm usually usually get up about 4:50 or so and spend some time with the Lord and just try to get the house ready for school. I'm thinking maybe I get up a little earlier, do the same thing, and go to the gym, come back, and get us ready to go. So, trying to have a little healthier life. Yep. You mess this hole up, you really get mad at yourself. So another thing that, not rediscovered, but just kind of like got back into, was I love getting up and researching. Outdoor Loco. These lawnmowers are loud. Hopefully, I'm not complaining, because I do enjoy well-kept grass when playing disc golf. Nothing like having grass up to your knees and being very frustrated. They never allow that here at Johnson, unless sometimes in some of the wooded holes, you guys don't get back there and weed eat. Maybe that's something I need to do. But hopefully there's not too much longer left of the mowing season. I'm not really mowing my yard anymore. That Zone SS, I thought that'd be a really good shot for this, or a really good disc for this hole. Sometimes I turn it over and just like, we'll keep going, but I think I kind of like put a little more nose tip up and height on it when it came back. It's a really good disc. All right, so some of the mowing has died down for a second, so I feel like this is the point where I can talk. Just not getting the pop today that I usually would off my drives. That's okay, I'm rusty. What I was saying was, I like getting up early and spending time with the Lord, and also really like researching. I was a biblical studies, I got a master's in biblical studies, and so I love digging into the text and thinking about discipleship and that sort of thing. And so I have a few projects that are kind of percolating and just, brewing in my mind. I'm trying to get it on paper and stuff like that. And ChatGPT is very helpful, by the way. But all that to say is I've had a little less time to do some editing as well. I have some content, I just haven't been as on it when it comes to the editing side of things. So what are some of those projects that I'm working on? It's kind of 3 that I've been playing with lately. Sorry if I'm not looking at you right now. I'm looking for the wolf. Kick it back there. So the one that's like taking most of my time right now is I'm looking at the idea of biblical love and it being a kind of like a holistic, all-encompassing way of discipleship and spiritual formation. You know, a lot of my stuff is never like unique to myself. I always build upon others' works. So I'm working on that. That's one thing. Really excited about that, but that has been taking a lot of my time, and I'm basically looking at 4 spheres of where that is integrated into a fully integrated life. The next one, some of that Torah love. That was a great forehand. Maybe I need to start forehanding this hole more. The next one is a place-based missional approach to living. And it's like really kind of just taking the idea of loving your neighbor more seriously. And but it's kind of like I call it the 10 P's, and it is kind of like these if you imagine like throwing a rock into a lake and the ripple effect, it's like 10 ripples, kind of starting in the center, moving your way out concentrically. So again, building on some of the work of others, but kind of really excited about that because I think that it's really easy to think abstractly about, oh yeah, you know, but when you make things more concrete and specific, that's where things get more difficult and challenging. And I think it's probably what a lot of us need, but also just kind of helps wake us up to look more around and being aware, that sort of thing. All right, this hole in the short position is like one of the worst holes on the course. It is like a 230-foot spike hyzer. Whoever's got the key, please move it to the long position, which is one of the best holes on the course. So anywho, you know what? Maybe I'll give the Halo Fox some redemption. Maybe like a hyzer forehand can do it. Oh, I think it almost got through. Let's try the other one. Now, more traditional shot for me on this hole. All right, the last little project I'm working on, kind of related to fatherhood, and so I'm trying to think about incorporating onto the channel. I might share it with you when I get to hole 16, but a little preview of I am thinking about the father of the nations, Abraham, and kind of looking at the ups and downs of his fatherhood. Those weren't bad for the forehands. Look, actually the Halo Fox, that's a good position right there. So, okay, so maybe it is a dogleg left major hyzer forehand disc. Well, this is kind of cool. So while I was subbing, talking to one of these kids, and he is into disc golf and he wants to get better at it. And so he was asking, you know, if I knew any coaches and that sort of thing. So I was able to connect him with Luke, and I think they're gonna start lessons soon. By the way, again, guys, anyone locally that needs some lessons, Luke is your man. Dude has every shot in the bag, and probably in Memphis proper, he's probably like top 3 or 4 in distance, easily. Hard to get any better than that. This hole actually might be a pretty good hole for the Halo Fox since it's so flippy, since mine is. And it wants to like turn and burn quickly, just throwing it flat and then letting it just dig into the ground and push up. It's good use of this disc. That was a really good shot. It hit one of the last trees, but that was tracking. Yeah, that's a really good shot by the Halo Fox. You really can't, I mean, you can ask for a little bit more on this hole, like get in the creek and you got an automatic birdie, but this is good. Hit that little limb. Pulled the trail a little bit on that shot. I like playing a flex on that. It's like a 300-foot hole, uphill. Probably one of my least favorites. Just because it's not super easy to figure out. So we'll see how that fared. Yeah, going for that was dumb. And honestly, I don't feel like doing the comeback putt. So whatever. Making our way back up the hill to hole 16, which if you can see behind me, there's a water carry, and many victims have gone into that lake. There have been many, you might say, sacrifices, which kind of gave me the idea about the Abraham story. This few years ago that I realized that after the almost attempted sacrifice of Isaac, there's nothing in the text to indicate that he came down with his father. It said they went, and it seemed to be referring to the servants that came up. So it's very interesting that Isaac did not come down. Milton's interpretation of, again, the binding of Isaac is very interesting and a little bit unique. And I find myself to be, I find it a little compelling. And really it kind of goes back to, well, I'm going to save that for another time because maybe I will actually do this series. We shall see. Somebody floated up on shore. We'll see if there's a name on it. Looks like a blizzard disc. If I had to guess, maybe like a blizzard boss. So bad. I don't even know what I did there. It was a blizzard boss. No name, no number, because you know what that means. I need to throw on the next hole. 145 gram blizzard boss. This hole's only 270, so this is too much disc for this hole, but maybe I could throw it like on a big hyzer and make sure that it like crashes down. Hopefully not in the water. We shall see. That thing turned, and actually it's not in a bad position for the other location. I'm actually a little blown away by it right now. I want to like the Halo Fox. That's basically gonna be my disc like that. If I have like a kind of a hole that plays like 300, that might be it. And honestly, if I'm throwing well, 320 like 300 to 315, 320. That cicada is really, really good. Today I'm not throwing very well. I literally hit where I was aiming for. I threw that cicada too flat. I didn't throw it on hyzer. So you throw it flat and you're aiming at someplace, it's going to go there. All right, guys, so that wraps it up for today. Appreciate you tuning in, hearing me ramble. Everything's okay. I just haven't played in 3 weeks. It's all good. We've had lots of things happen. Just, you know, my family, local disc golf scene. Very excited. If you are around the area, sign up for Will I's birthday bash. And then after that, T West has got a tournament down in Jackson. If you guys can make that, hoping I can. Not sure if I can. We'll see. But anywho, over and out.